This is Matthew Brenner. Today is March 29th, 2017.
Obamagate is beginning to definitely show signs. It is going into an ugly, ugly scandal. Devin Nunes has confirmed that the Obama administration used intelligence information gathered on Donald Trump and his people for political opposition. And this is coming out of Bloomberg, and basically saying that all of this intelligence information, which was being sheet-dipped as an investigation into Russia, was going to the White House, and from there it was finding its way to whoever was opposed to Donald Trump, which appears to be pretty much the entire government right now. And because of that, now all of a sudden there's a huge outcry in the Congress. Devin Nunes should recuse himself from the Russia probe because he doesn't believe, as we do, that Donald Trump and Russia are in cahoots together. We only want somebody who has already convicted Donald Trump in his mind to be in charge of all these investigations. And there really is a panic going on out there. Chuck Schumer is out there demanding that Nunes step down. And, of course, Nunes says, I'm not going anywhere. And the big stink they're making is that Nunes met a source over at the White House. Oh my goodness, the head of an investigation can't talk to the office of the president. Oh, that's horrible. No, actually what's going on is very simple. Nunes needed to review some documents that are only available on the executive branch's intranet. And just like other aspects of the government, there are private computer networks that are not available to the general internet. So the only way he could look at the documents, he had to go over to the White House and use one of their computers on their network to review the documents. That's it. That's what happened. And they're trying to turn this into the, oh my goodness, he's a traitor to the cause, which I'm sure from the point of view of Hillary's supporters is absolutely true, because anybody who is not pushing to remove Trump and install Empress Hillary I obviously is a traitor to the cause here. And a lot of people are beginning to realize, like this article over at RIF.com, in any semblance of bipartisanship on these intelligence committees has evaporated. It's turning into just another faction fight along party lines, and now, instead of actually investigating, what they're trying to do is pick off the GOP leadership, or indeed any leadership of these committees, who might be inclined to actually look at the facts rather than go along with the propaganda scree that Donald Trump is the Moscow candidate. Insert ominous music here. Now, further embarrassing the situation, Evelyn Farkas is an Obama administration insider. She's the latest Democrat to roll over, and she told MSNBC, yes, they were spying on Donald Trump, and she was helping the Obama administration spy on Trump, and that Trump, and not the Russians, was the target of all this illegal surveillance. The idea of we're investigating Russia, that was a cover story to try and make it seem quasi-legal and justifiable. And she's out there. This is an Obama insider saying, no, they had nothing to do with Russia. It was all about bugging Trump. Now, at this point, they've pretty much confirmed that the Obama administration was spying on Donald Trump during the transition, trying to get information on how to get people to prepare to push back against Donald Trump following the inauguration. The open question is how much spying was going on before the election to try and damage Donald Trump, help Hillary Clinton. That needs to be looked at. Now, as you know, the director of the FBI, James Comey, and the director of the National Security Agency, or as they like to call themselves, no such agency, Rogers, didn't show up today for their classified hearing. And this is absolutely insane. They have been called to testify in closed-door session where they're allowed to talk about classified information. They just didn't show up. They did not show up at all. Gee, I wonder if they have something to hide. They certainly act like it, don't they? They certainly act like there is something being hidden here. They're almost as totally wacko paranoid as the Israelis are about the history of World War II. Don't look at the facts, don't ask questions, don't analyze, don't think, just believe as we tell you to believe, and all will be well.
Because we're going to Ken Delanian in Washington with some of this breaking news here of where Chairman Devin Nunes was the night before he made those allegations about potentially associates of the president's being monitored during the transition. Ken Delanian, fill us in on your latest reporting and put this into context for us about why this matters.
Sure, Holly. Well, Devin Nunes acknowledging now to NBC News that he was in a SCIF, a sensitive compartmented information facility in the White House to review documents around this surveillance that he later made public. That's significant because there's been a mystery here about where did he get this information? Who were his sources? He still hasn't said, but there are sensitive facilities on Capitol Hill, in the Capitol, where lawmakers regularly review information. So there was no need for him to go to the White House. The fact that he was there at the White House suggests that maybe he got this information from the White House. And after all, you know, Donald Trump could have ordered these reports to be placed on his desk at any time. He's the president of the United States. He supervises these intelligence agencies. So it raises the question, and Democrats have been charging this, as to whether this whole thing was a ruse. Nunes comes out and has 2 news conferences and announces to the world that he's seen surveillance reports monitoring Donald Trump. 2 days later, he said, well, maybe it wasn't monitoring Trump. Maybe it was just foreigner to foreigner talking about Trump and his associates. So, you know, that whole thing has blown up the House Intelligence Committee investigation and raised questions about whether it could be independent. And now it's looking like potentially he got some of this information from the White House, Hallie.
We can't say that yet, right? We don't know that part, Ken, but I want to make 2 points here. One is that, yes, there is a SCIF, right? So a SCIF, as you said, is like this sort of compartmented area where people can go and view classified information. There is one on the Hill where Devin Nunes works, right?
Yes, there is. And absolutely. And his staffers for the House Intelligence Committee are there every day reviewing classified information that is sent over to them from the executive agency. So go ahead, Hallie. Sorry.
Sorry, Ken. No. I just want to say this, because part 2 of the question then is he came under a lot of fire for not briefing his Democratic counterpart, right, Adam Schiff, before he went and briefed President Trump. Does this raise questions in your mind about how or why Devin Nunes decided to go brief the president if he had been at the SCIF the night before talking with these sources? Is this going to tamp down some of the backlash he got, or do you think it's going to intensify it?
No, of course it's going to intensify it because it seems to confirm a theory, or it offers some strong evidence in confirmation of a theory that's out there that this was all a stunt. Because, you know, the standard practice, it's very legitimate for Nunes as the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee to be raising these issues. Was surveillance shared improperly? Were names unmasked? That's totally legit. But the way that's done is you share it with the committee. You share this information with committee Democrats. You go forward as a unified front. The House Intelligence Committee is generally one of the most bipartisan committees on the Hill. And so the fact that Nunes did not share this information with the committee, the fact that he went and had a news conference in the Capitol and then another news conference at the White House as he went over to brief the president, you know, infuriated Democrats and raised questions about his independence, Hallie.